saying so in the chat when I said like the flopping is blowing me, I feel like it was certain instances where y'all could have came back, and then it's just like the refs was just against y'all the whole night. Like I don't know how you feel on it. I just it makes the game not fun no more though. Like it just
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about playing them boys, bro. It's like they don't need any more help. Like they I genuinely already feel like this is the best team in the league. This is a team that I think is gonna win the title. I don't think they need anybody's help to be the team that they're 15-point favorites over. Like they
mm,
didn't like. I don't quite understand some of the calls that we didn't get. There were a few like a few instances where it was an and one bucket they got called, they got waved off because they called the foul on the floor when he was. I mean, I thought it was clear that this is a continuation foul. There were a few of those types of calls. I mean, the thing about playing OKC is like if they're going to be allowed to play a physical brand of basketball, then that's how the game should be called. Everything should be allotted. They got guys that we know are guys that just hack. You know what I'm saying? We know they do. We know they do certain things, and like my whole gripe with this is I like OKC. Like, not for nothing. I like Shea. I like the team. I even like how they play. I don't like how they're officiated. And it has less to do with OKC themselves than it does the referees. If the refs aren't gonna allow these games to be played out and call it straight down the middle, then like you said, it does take away a bit of the fun of the competition. Like like I never went into this series thinking that we had a chance to win this. I've been very clear on what I think about my team, especially with no Luka Doncic on the floor. We're limited. We're strapped. We play well, and that's the one that I will say. Aside from all the calls that I think we didn't get, I think we played well through 2 games. I think this team has competed well, and I like the things I see from JJ Redick as a coach. I like the things I see from guys like Marcus Smart. I mean, Austin Reeves had a shitty game 1, but he bounced back in game 2, so I'll give credit to him there. Rui Hachimura has been absolutely fantastic and well deserving of a contract. I don't know if he'll get it from us, but he's a guy that has shown up well in this series. And Bron being who he is, and not for nothing, I still think LeBron's probably been no worse than the second best player on the floor throughout these first 2 games. I don't think SGA's been in that top 2
mm-hmm.
thus far through these first couple games. And if I give the refs anything, I'll say this: they haven't given SGA a lot of those calls that he typically would get, and I think between that and JJ Redick making it a point to take him out of the game, I think they've done a good job of mitigating his impact on the game. But that OKC team, for what it's worth, that's a good team, top to bottom. Their second unit can score at will. Philadelphia giving up Jared McCain for a bag of chips is still crazy. We knew what was gonna happen come playoff time. We
Yeah,
knew that them adding another scorer, another guy that's very capable for absolutely nothing was gonna kick everybody's ass in the come playoff time. And if I look over at Philadelphia, guess what it looks like they need?
a
Another guy
score.
that could go get a fucking bucket. Another guy that could get a bucket will probably really help y'all out over there in Philadelphia. So Daryl Morey giving that up is nothing. I can't believe, like, for a team that said we gave him up because we're trying to compete right now, and give him to a team that just won a championship. But I see stuff like that is what makes people like it makes the everyday person feel like, oh, I could be a GM because all I gotta do is not have my head up my ass and think with a little bit of logic and think, well, if I'm trying to compete right now, maybe I don't give this guy up, who I thought very highly of, to draft him just last year to a
Mm-hmm.
team that just won the championship, that doesn't need any more help. They
That's
didn't
what,
need it. If there was any team that did not need to be handed anything, it's the team that just won, what, 67 games last year and won a championship?
they're playing 2K Dynasty mode over there in Philadelphia. That's one of them moves. And that's one of your moves with your homeboys. You sit back chilling, like, you know what? Let me send Jerry McCain to OKC. Let's help them out some more. Let's help out the heavyweights some more here.
Right, right. Like it's like I don't know, man. And like, and it's crazy. I never wanted to get to this point where I talk from this perspective about a team, like being that team being OKC, and having to really take like the narrative perspective of like, I know they're a good team. I know they're potentially gonna go win back-to-back titles. I don't know if they win a title, another one, they'd be in that dynasty category.
Of course.
But I don't know if I don't think I fear them. I don't think anybody truly fears OKC more so than they just fear how the game's gonna be refereed. Like if you don't feel like you're gonna get a fair shake with the whistle, then we're handicapped. This isn't like watching Golden State, where we watch Golden State and we fear them because, like, dog, they got Steph Curry, they got Klay Thompson, hell, they got Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? They got a bench lineup that can also go kill. Like, we feared them because of how they played. It was just tough to beat them just on a regular. We fear OKC because we don't know how the game is going to be officiated come time for us to play that game. For a team, like I said, that doesn't need the extra help. Like, SGA is plenty good of a scorer without you giving them a foul call. They can defend without you giving them the foul calls. It's just like, we have to be allowed to play the same game. That's all. That's my only point, and that's the only thing I can say. And this is also taking away from a guy in Shea that is potentially going to be in a conversation that's going to be very difficult for people to have if they were to go repeat. And if he were to go championship, finals MVP, regular season MVP, which would have been his second time doing so, he'd be one of 3 players to have done that. And those 3 players being Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Larry Bird. So the conversations that he will also be in would be crazy for a guy that people, it doesn't feel like they respect how he's gotten to this point. Like, it's odd. It's odd. And now I will say, and that's gonna be my last thing. I think OKC being hated is good for the game because we needed somebody that we dislike.
Of course.
Because since Golden State, it hasn't been a team that's been a repeat. That it hasn't been a team that's had the potential to repeat as a champion, and there hasn't been a team that's been this. It doesn't seem like they've been this close to repeating. So, having a team to hate is also good. Hate brings up ratings. Hate brings in viewership. I mean, I do it all the time. You gotta hate. You gotta hate on something, bro. Like, you got to.
Dave Chappelle was ahead of his time. The haters play.
Yes!
The haters ball.
The haters ball. You got to hate. Bro, nothing is solidified until we hate on it. And I think these boys are solidified now because we despise how they play. And this, I mean, overall, great for the game still. That's what I think.
Of course. But I like to I like to troll and give you guys hell. Like, y'all really had a chance here, even game 1 and game 2, bro. Like, hopefully y'all can still win in the Staples Center or something like that, and hopefully you can hear good news. Luka say, "F it, let me get on the court. I can't sit back and watch anymore." The Goblin Mask is talking to him. He want to get back. 'Cause I feel like Luka on the floor. I feel like he'll give y'all like y'all be in it. Like, they ain't no pushover. Y'all ain't no pushover.
For sure, for surely not. For sure not. I mean, like, we could use another 20 points from somebody. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Correct.
what you're missing right now with not having Luka on the floor. They also don't have J-Dub on the floor on the floor either. And I was hopeful that, hey, if Luka could get back for the second round, then, I mean, with no J-Dub on the other side, I said we got a shot at making it interesting at the very least. But I'm not even tripping on Luka though. I mean, truth be told, I mean that was a grade 2 hamstring strain, which means
Mm,
it was a partial tear
yeah,
in the hamstring. So I can't. That's the franchise's investment. We have a big summer coming up. I can't I can't risk my franchise player in a situation where he's not 100%. I don't necessarily think we're fighting for a championship. I think I was pretty clear on where we were as a team, man. I mean, we're a good team, but we are a a few pieces away from being a contender. So
right,
I'm nothing on it, man. I'm cool. I trust and believe. I mean, just that type of injury isn't one where it's like you can just bounce back.
right.
That's getting your conditioning back. That's getting the strength back. That's a lot of things that I don't think even if he got out there, he wouldn't be the same player, and people wouldn't judge that fairly because if you're out there on the court, we got to judge you as somebody that's out there on the court. We can't give you a sliding scale just because you're playing through injury. So, it is what it is, man. At this point, I'm all in on next season. I'm proud of the effort that's been given, but get me to the off season.
I mean, that's really one thing. There's really one thing you probably can hope for, But if all I'm saying, my brother, as long as there's a chance, bro, you know, this, hey, keep it in there. Because, I mean, what I saw last night, I mean, y'all, it just, OKC got some weaknesses, and OKC can be beat.
Yeah,
It's just, at times, it's just that missing piece. And then at times, the refs, I feel like they're just getting them the game. And that's what, hopefully we get through this hump that we're going through, which is, i.e., the Minnesota Timberwolves. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to face OKC right now. So that's why I want y'all. I root for y'all to get there. I'd rather see y'all because I don't know.
that's a dead mission right there, dog. You
It,
might
it,
well go ahead and prep
it's
for that one.
eh,
Yeah, you
yeah,
might go ahead and prep
but
for.
we got to go through the hump first. They smacked us. They smacked us game one. It was a huge
Yeah,
smack in the face. Game two, I'm hearing Great Popovich pulled up in the film session. He said, pull aside, y'all. Hold on, y'all ain't. We
yeah.
ain't about to do it. We ain't doing this. I knew Coach Pop, but Coach Pop can't sit. He can't sit down.
No,
They know this.
absolutely not. And you can instantly tell. I didn't get that game. Though these games are happening so quick, and
Hmm.
I've been at work for all of y'all games. So I haven't had a chance to really sit down and get a chance to watch a full game of this series yet. But from what I could tell, instantly, hey, trapping Anthony Edwards at the top of the key. We're not letting y'all boys get downhill. That
No,
was because in game one, that was their MO. We're gonna get
correct.
downhill. We're gonna attack Wemby. And honestly, I'm glad somebody did it. Even if he blocks 12 shots, make him do it again. If he do it twice, do it 3 times. We will keep attacking you, and we're gonna see how well conditioned you are. Because I don't think any team is ever attempted to go after Wemby in such a manner.
Hmm.
And I think it played a huge role in how the game plan in game two played out. Like, man, trap him at the top of the key. Do not allow these guys to get downhill.
Hmm.
And there were a lot of instances where Wemby wasn't even going for blocks in that game too. I mean, but because I think it's more important for him to have his energy to be able to be effective on the offensive end. It
Yeah,
can't solely be defense with him. He's the best player. That game one, I was disappointed in, of course, because if you're gonna talk about being an MVP, and you're gonna tell me defense is like what you're doing is so special that we should consider you. You have to play up to a certain standard, and I thought he matched that definitely in game two. Then that's just a team that again that continues to impress whenever they see an obstacle. I was impressed with how the first round series was handled after you lost to Portland in game two. And I was impressed with how you handled game two against Minnesota. Game three, we'll see if Minnesota answers with a level of urgency. One could say after getting game one, which was really, if you're Minnesota, exactly what you need
he's
to
on
do.
it. Yeah.
Jump out, take game one. You got home court. Now we got this young team coming on the road in Minnesota, a place where their fans are gonna get up for it. They're gonna be loud. They're gonna be rowdy. and this is different than playing Portland, obviously, because the caliber of players are just different. Once we know the deeper you go into the playoffs, the more talented teams you see, the tougher the environment. So it's gonna be interesting to see how these young guys respond I feel like a real playoff environment against a real playoff caliber team. You know what I'm saying? So I'm intrigued to see the response from the young guys. I if I'm being honest, I do expect Minnesota to win this. I expect there to be a split though. I expect the split to be on the road here in Minnesota. The series goes back to 2-2, which
Headed back to San
therein
Antonio.
therein lies giving y'all home court advantage again for the final 3 games of that series, if it even needs to go if it even needs to
Needs to
go
go.
through the final 3
Hmm.
games, which will be a game 7.
Yeah, yeah. I think Soda might get us tonight. With game one, bro, we shot so bad on the floor. It was just aggravating to watch and see. Um, they just knew what to do. Like I think the team Minnesota, they was hyped. They got Ant back, and even with limited time, the limited minutes, they still able to beat us. Which is a very tough task. They may held us, but game two, I feel like roles were reversed. Like I said, we trapped Ant up on the key and stuff like that. Made him uncomfortable. The whole Minnesota team got uncomfortable at one point. They kept it close at first, though. But shit. Hopefully, if that ain't well, a good team like Minnesota, they gonna adjust. We got to bring our best game. If we still win tonight, man, that would be really something special. But
That would be
um, that
huge.
that'd be huge, huge momentum shift. Cause we, like you said, you warned us. You warned on this part. He's like, you know what,
Mhm.
brother, you shouldn't be worried about Denver. You need to be worried
Mhm.
about Minnesota. Don't be worried about Denver.
I told you.
So,
Hey, it's just the thing I understood was those are young, those are athletic big wings that they have over there in Minnesota.
mhm,
It just causes more of a matchup problem everywhere else. It isn't necessarily that like there is no real answer for Wemby, because in a one-on-one, Wemby should be able to win against Rudy Gobert most times. You know what I'm saying? Like Rudy can't move nearly as well as Wemby does, and Wemby can bring him out into out to the perimeter and bring him out of the deep waters where he really can't figure out how to get a stop. So there are still advantages, and this is why I still picked y'all in the series. I got this series going 6 games. I think 6 games is where it'll get to.
mhm.
If y'all were to get it in 5, I wouldn't be surprised necessarily. I mean, I just think that there are too many advantages with with Wemby and with just Wemby, that it just create there is no real answer for it. There is
Mhm.
no real answer. And I just can't. I just don't believe that Anthony Edwards is gonna be able to hold up for a full 7 game series. Even to
Yeah,
get through 6 games, it feels like a lot. And if they don't get this win tonight, then I think it'll go. I think it goes 5. I don't know if they get another game if
yeah.
they don't win tonight. So I think it's pretty imperative on both teams to come out with a level of fire in this game, because I believe either or. I believe y'all can survive losing tonight. I don't believe Minnesota can survive going down at any point in time
Good
in this
point.
series.
Yeah, I gotta keep the moment. One of the things, hey, you better stay hot while you can. You know,
Yes.
yeah, stay hot while you can. And look, we'll see. Unless Ant can heal, unless Ant is healing as he playing. But
Right. I mean,
I
is
mean,
just
keep
no
playing on
chance of
that.
you
Like,
getting better. Like,
yeah,
you're just not gonna get healthier about and when you're actively having to play. That isn't realistic. So I mean, I'm leaning towards y'all in this series. I feel confident in what y'all have brought to the table, and I think for the betterment of the game, it's best that we get San Antonio versus OKC. That's the best series to possibly get. Like, truth be told, like,
yeah, yeah. Very sure gonna
yeah,
be up. And it's just like I said earlier. I'm just not anticipating the BS calls and us getting effed over. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be. I'm gonna try to hold back from, like, you know what I'm saying, just blaming the refs for everything. It's just what I saw last night. I'm like, damn, this really ain't
it
making
was
the
pretty
game
rough.
fun. It's not making the
Yeah,
game fun. It's just
no,
it's
it's
just
not.
not. But
It's not. But well, you know, we can run that. We can beat that horse into the ground all day. But we'll move on to the Cleveland Cavaliers and Detroit Pistons series. This is one I picked Detroit. They've seemed to have figured things out since getting over that hump that was the Orlando
Orlando
Magic.
Magic. Mm-hmm.
They got tested, they got pushed to the brink, and they responded.
Mm-hmm.
They did respond, and the things that Orlando was able to do, and the matchup problem that Orlando presented does not exist with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, none of which have risen to the occasion in this series thus far. I like Detroit's physicality. I really like what Asar Thompson has done defensively. Like if there's nothing else he's going to do, he is going to give you 100% all effort on the defensive side of the ball, and he makes life tough. He makes like he can make life tough for anybody on the perimeter, and that's where he's a huge key. For this team as they move on to the later rounds. I think they pretty much handled this series in probably 5 games. I don't see Cleveland getting more than one. And again, their best chance is Game 3 to get a
Mm-hmm.
singular game in this series. But between Asar Thompson and Tobias Harris, who I mean, this has been the guy in Tobias Harris that I think we've been waiting on for a decade to
Yeah.
be somebody when it
Basketball.
come playoff time.
Tobias
And he's
Harris, man.
killing. Tobias Harris matching the ball, bro. It's crazy. He's giving Detroit the points that I was wondering where they were going to get it from. At least in the
Yeah.
in the like in the Minnesota, not in Minnesota, but in the Orlando series, I was wondering who's going to be the next guy besides Cade that can give them points. And he's killed. And credit to Jenkins and Duncan Robinson as well. All of those guys in this series have been magnificent, and they've been dominating these games from start to finish. And I look over at the other side in Cleveland. I knew I was right when we talked about them a few months ago. I knew I was right, and this is exactly why.
James Harden going James Harden, huh?
Every time,
Every time.
yeah, and it's disappointing, bro. Like it's just
He got the
because for a
talent.
guy that's
He got the talent.
he's got the talent, and for a guy that's been so dominant as a scorer throughout his career, for it to just could be a complete 180 in the playoffs where he doesn't look like he has played 14 plus years of basketball in the NBA. Like you
Mm-hmm.
haven't been an MVP. Like you haven't been a team like you haven't been a player that's gotten his team to the playoffs every year since he's been in the league. You look nothing remotely close to the guy that we see in the regular season. And for that reason alone, that D Wade conversation, well, that's gotta stop. That has to stop. Please stop putting that man. This man is I mean, he's the greatest playoff dropper of all time. Like, he is actually the worst player, like the worst superstar we've ever seen in the playoffs. Like, nobody's done it to this. Like, even Paul George, who we've given we've called this man everything but except the child of God, is a better playoff performer than James Harden. Hey,
Yeah, Paul George
boy,
can give Paul George can at least give you a good first half. You won't hear from him in the second half, but a good first half. Yeah.
PG took Miami. He took the Heatles Miami team to the brink. Say what you will about this man. He's taking the Los Angeles Clippers to a conference finals.
Mm-hmm.
I can't put no more smut on his name that I haven't put on James Harden. And that's just that in a nutshell, bro. I can't believe you almost just don't even have to defend them.
There's an edit. There's an edit of James Harden on Josh Allen body out there. I'm pretty sure you'll find it. So you'll come across it.
It's valid.
I'm like,
it's valid.
About the same.
It's kind of valid.
That's about the same. Dominating the season. Well, not dominant. I won't say dominant, but pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Helping his team win in the season. You know what I'm saying? But once playoff time hit, when you need to win, nowhere to be found. Nowhere.
And you know what? Kobe said it years ago. He said, I don't believe his style of basketball can win a championship. He said it nearly like a decade ago, damn near. Probably like 2018. I feel like he said this. And he's been right ever since. He's not been wrong. And that style that he plays is not conducive to championship basketball. Donovan Mitchell has been fine, I guess. You know what I'm saying? He's been fine. It's just those two guys I knew would be entertaining players in the playoffs or in the regular season, and we're gonna fall off a cliff in the playoffs, and that's exactly what's happened. And I am eager to see the Detroit Pistons and the New York Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals.
It's Detroit's. It's Detroit's to win at this point. Celtics,
Yeah,
they laid an egg. Um, hilarious. Jalen Brown, more hilarious. Um, that is going to tear that locker room apart. And it's sad too because Celtics built a good locker room. I feel like they built
they
a
have,
great one. But I'm like, dang, is
but
Jalen Brown going to trick it
I
away?
understand Jalen Brown's, I think, disposition. He says there's no issues going on between him and the front office and all that stuff. But I'm like, bro, like, yes, it is. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Yeah, you can lie to them, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know anything. I'm just here. I'm just here speculating with everybody else. But brother, there have been too many times where they just don't acknowledge you the same way they acknowledge Tatum.
Mhm.
You won you won the conference finals MVP, you won the finals MVP, and you still got shitted on and could not get an Olympic roster spot. But you know who did get it? Jason Tatum, who was deserving. But you know who else got it? Drew Holiday. You know who else got it? Derek White. Two role players from your team also got that same spot. I
And,
just feel like
and Curry
the
didn't even play Tatum. Curry didn't even put Tatum in like
didn't
that.
even they didn't even play him right. So if you telling me Jalen Brown can't do didn't deserve to be there, then
Hey,
hey, whatever. But it's just I just feel like that he's always felt that he's an equal, if not better than Jason Tatum.
hmm
And if you're asking me, I believe Jalen Brown's a better leader than Jason Tatum for sure.
hmm
Because I believe that it's just I just look at everything he does. I look at his intellect. I look at how he carries himself. I look at how he plays the game. He plays the game with a lot more force than Jason Tatum does.
hmm
Tatum is a guy that we know is uber talented and should be widely considered probably I think he's top 10. I think he's a top 10 player, but with his level of talent should be a top 5 player. I think we should all be able to regard him as a top 5 player, but he doesn't play with the level of brute force that Brown does. Like Brown has no issue going right to the paint. I'm gonna back your ass down. You know exactly what I'm gonna do. You know exactly what I'm trying to get to, and I'm gonna get there, and you ain't gonna stop it. Tatum, it plays a much more. I'm just gonna settle for the 3-point. I'm just gonna settle for that 3-point shot. And again, I haven't seen Tatum without Jalen Brown for significant stretches of time to the point where we can say that he can also lead this team in this capacity. Jalen Brown, the reason why I believe Jalen Brown said this is his favorite year of basketball, because this is the year I got to show all y'all, everybody that kept saying this is Jason Tatum's team, I got to prove to everyone we are still just as good, if not better, without this man on the floor. Now, obviously, you smoked this series, and that cannot be, we can't scrub that stain off.
I mean, let's be
But
real. Tatum won the 100%. Tatum's still not
no,
100%.
he wasn't. And I was always of the mindset that he shouldn't have came back this year at all. There was nothing to gain from doing this unless you were going to be 100%. Unless you can be fully Jason Tatum, there is nothing you can do to help us right now. Oh, and if you do want to help us, the best thing you probably could do, and which is crazy because Carmelo got killed for saying this, come off the bench. People acting like Carmelo Anthony told this man he can't hoop no more. Like he ain't got it and whatsoever, and killed a Hall of Famer for suggesting that the guy that's coming off of a torn Achilles should maybe come off the bench. Should maybe take a more reserved role for a team that's got 50 plus wins and has done this without you. Has built chemistry and figured out their system for this season without you.
There's no shame coming off the bench. There's no
There's
shame.
no shame. There's none. I think for the betterment of the team at this current juncture, it would probably been for the best. And I just don't think that, hey, giving Tatum these large groups of minutes is I just don't believe it. I don't believe anything that those folks told us. Obviously his recovery was speedy and he was healthy.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean he should have played. It just does not mean that to me. And I think that everybody that made that decision was very much wrong in doing so.
Yeah.
So
I I I mean, yeah, you gotta think along. You know, like you say, you really gotta think of longevity too, because I think if I'm not mistaken, Jalen Brown has been more healthy than Tatum than the whole little stint they had together. You know what I'm saying? So he also can throw that argument as well. Hey, I'm healthy. I'm always on the floor. You know,
I'm here.
availability is the best ability. I'm here.
Exactly.
So you know, that's just me. I,
Yeah. It's one of those things too now where it's like at this point you have to consider trading Jalen Brown. Because it seems like they've already made their decision about who the franchise guy is. Tatum is the franchise guy.
of course.
And I don't think you can get anything for Tatum that's of worth because he's still coming off of an injury. And he's off of Achilles and he had a calf strain
Mm,
just here to end the playoffs. So I don't believe he's movable, truth be told. At least not for what you think he's worth. So
yeah.
I believe Jalen Brown is probably on the trade, probably in the trade rumors again.
Hmm.
And yeah,
I say keep him in the East. Keep him in the East. The West already over. The West already stacked enough.
uh,
Keep it in the East. Let's make the East even more fun. Go
let's
ahead and
make him a
say.
Laker. Like
I'm trying to
that's
avoid. I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to avoid that. I'm trying to avoid that. But all
I'm
right,
not.
man.
And you know what's so crazy? Like when I say these things, nobody can tell me, man, he ain't gonna be no Laker. Think you talking about? Hey, y'all say the hit. Who would have thought? Not me. So there's nothing I can't say that can't possibly happen. Like, he made
Still one
yo
of the wildest. Still one of the wildest nights.
insane. I
Still,
still don't believe it to
still
this
one of the
day.
wildest nights.
Still don't believe it
Still one of the
to
wildest
this
nights.
day.
Hmm.
Um, I guess we can move on to the Knicks and Philadelphia series. I had a lot higher hopes for this series, thinking that Joel Embiid would possibly be able to make it through. But I'll give credit to bro. He fought, he battled, and if not for him coming back in that Boston Celtics series, they don't make it out the first round to begin with.
Yep.
But the reality was the reality. Even with them on the floor, I still had New York winning because, again, much like Anthony Edwards, how long is your body gonna hold up? Like, there's no shot you're making it through an entire series, and then got to go another series if you were to make it out of that. No chance. No, absolutely no shot. New York's been playing some of the best offensive basketball in the playoffs for the past 4 games. They
Hmm.
like their final 2 games against the Hawks, they smoked them out.
Hmm.
They smoked out Philly in game one, a much closer game in game two.
Hmm.
But they have it feels like they're the team of destiny. They gotten the right matchups at the right time. It feels like they're gonna walk their way into getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, OG Anunoby for them is out, and
Hmm.
that's a huge piece because if he's not there for a potential matchup with the Pistons, I don't know if I can say with confidence that they would make it out of that series. But if Anunoby's good to go and healthy, then yeah, I feel great about their chances. But it's just Philadelphia, bro. Like I think you just run out of steam. I think getting Joel back for the end of that Celtics series was exactly what you needed because they didn't have an answer for him. But in this series, Karl Anthony Towns is taking it took it right to him in game one, and which is what I wanted him to do. Like that man's he's a wounded animal. Kill it,
This the
go kill.
this the cat we wanted to see. This the Karl Anthony Towns we've been ready for. Yeah.
It is, man. And you start to realize, like, damn, bro, like this guy, this big, this 6'10", 6'11" dude who can shoot the three ball as well as most guards, and can be a walking double machine if he puts his mind to it. Is a great second option to have on the floor. Like, like,
Yeah.
they're shooting the three ball well for right now. I mean, I expect those numbers to come down to earth here in these next few games. I don't believe they'll have another game like how they had in game one again. But it feels like they're primed to make it out of this series pretty clean. For Philadelphia, I think you got a lot to look forward to next year if you can
Mhm.
get Joel healthy. I think the entire focus of this offseason is Joel Embiid's health, Paul George still being able to still being able to be a vital vet, and the growth of VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey continuing to be the spearheads for this new Philadelphia era that they're entering with Tyrese Maxey being the franchise guy.
Yeah, I say get one more big or something. I mean, bigs are hard. You know, it's that's easier said than
Hard.
done. It's easier said than done. But I feel like with Embiid, they need to find another somebody similar. You know, that can just because he can't stay healthy. I don't know, man. Embiid can't stay healthy for me. I don't know why. Just stay healthy for me. Help us out here. If you're on the floor, you know what I'm saying, we win. I think a fully healthy Embiid, I'm pretty sure they'll be beating the fuck out of. I mean, beating the Knicks right now, but it's just not happening. It's
No,
just not
it's
happening.
not.
So I don't. Mm, I don't see Sixers come back on this one though. So yeah, give me the Knicks. No finish. Just wrap this on up. Sweet, maybe. I don't know.
It it,
Probably,
it maybe.
maybe.
Maybe. Maybe. I've said too many teams are gonna win game three. I'll
Mm.
say if there's a game, there'll be game four for Philly if they get one. And they'll end that series at home in Madison. And that's gonna be that, man. That's pretty much gonna be that. So we're looking at a potential Knicks and Pistons series and a potential Thunder and OKC, a Thunder and a Spurs series.
For the finals, yeah.
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 And
I'm
I
in
can
there.
already tell you where my I feel sure about my Western Conference team. I'll roll with my Western Conference team, but my
Yeah.
Eastern Conference team, well, my pick was Boston
Yeah,
from
that's
like
out the door.
the start is like
That's
that
out the
was my pick. So I don't know necessarily if I mean the way Detroit's playing, I really like what Detroit's like. I
I say it's
really like
Detroit.
what they've
It's
done.
Detroit. It's Detroit. Ain't no
It would have to be for me, Detroit. I'm the more I'm thinking if OG Anunoby isn't available, then it's gotta be Detroit for me because I believe
yeah.
they can do too much damage defensively to to New York.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I just believe they can wreak a lot of havoc, man. I truly do. And the healthier Cade gets, and the better he's been able to get throughout these playoffs, man. He's probably he's the most complete young American player we have right now in terms of his game and what all he can do right now. He's the most complete of all the young American guys.
Yep. And that's where I'm leaving. And I'm gonna leave it at this right here. My prediction on the West. You ain't gonna say it. I'ma say it. The prophecy is still being fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? My xenomorph is gonna lock in. You know, we can't play like we played in game one. But like I said, we need to get over the hump against Minnesota. But go ahead and give me my Spurs, Poor Vita. I'm still got my guys coming out the West. Until told otherwise. Until told otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we used to uphill battles, you feel me? We used to uphill battles. You know what I'm saying? My brother T's right here. He ain't gonna tell you. But I'm gonna tell y'all. Ace is gonna tell y'all. You know what I'm saying? The whole world is gonna learn about the Alamo. OKC gonna learn about the Alamo. But again, let's get out. Let's get out. Let's beat the team up north,
Yeah, yeah.
Minnesota.
Finish the
Let's finish
food
it for.
first. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
you must have
cause,
forgot.
'cause
Yeah,
you know what I'm
you got
saying. The state it want it. The
yeah, it's
motherfucker.
looking
Yeah,
a little tough right now, brother. It's a little
yeah,
tough, and you got
yeah,
to right now. You try to cut game one with a butter knife, so you make sure you got to
yeah.
make sure
That's
you
like,
got to
oh,
stay
this ain't going
nice.
through. Had to get that motherfucker. Had to get a chainsaw. Got that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
game two.
man.
Yeah.
Hey, bro. So we know we didn't get to talk about the Panthers draft, so we got to do that because we have we kind of late on this one, but
Oh
we
yeah.
got it. But what we got to do, man. So the Carolina Panthers NFL draft, one that I don't think a lot of fans were necessarily were fans of.
Mhm.
Because of the approach we took, attacking the trenches, something that we preach on this podcast heavily. Mr. Trenches himself, right here in the flesh.
Oh
Um,
man.
the Carolina Panthers went out and attacked they attacked both sides. They tried the offensive line and the defensive line.
Mhm.
Drafted Mauro Freeling at 19 overall for University of Georgia, a guy
Mhm.
that was very solid in his starts at the University of Georgia. Um, I mean, you talking about a guy that could stonewall defenders. I mean, I think that was the right pick. I can't there, I wasn't I didn't have a pick in mind this year. Truly didn't. 'Cause I think from after how last year went and how and how the 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 pre-draft notions were going around about what we potentially would do. There were just too much. It was just too many questions, too many possibilities, and so I was just down for whatever the whatever Dan Morgan so chose, and he chose Marlboro Freeling. I appreciate the idea of getting cheaper contracts in that offensive line room for an
Mhm.
offensive line that has Robert Hunt on big money, Damian Lewis on big money, Taylor Moton on
You
big
want no
money.
big money.
That I think you definitely needed to get younger in that room and get some cheaper contracts in there as well. Mauro Freely accomplishes those things. Rasheed Walker is expected to be the starting left tackle, at least as of right now, going into camp. I'm fine with that, but I also understand that Taylor Moton isn't going to be a guy. He is going to be around for long, and knowing how many times we had to switch up our offensive line combinations, having
Mhm.
young depth is not a bad thing to want for your quarterback. So
Hey, listen. I mean, anybody that pissed out the pick, I want y'all to take a good hard look at our current QB room. Kenny Pickett is our quarterback too. I can't stress this enough. Some people feel like Kenny Pickett is a good backup. Cool. All right. Hey, everybody got their opinions. Me, I don't want to take. I just don't want to wake up on a Sunday. Well, for one, if Kenny Pickett is taking snaps, I'm not waking up. I'm gonna wake up. Thank God willing.
you
But
know,
I, I'm I am not I am not turning my channel to channel 12 or 21, whatever your local cable provider
yeah,
is. I'm not turning on the Fox that day at 1 p.m.
yeah,
I'm just not going to do it. No, I'm
right.
not going to waste my time. So, that being said, I'm all for the Panthers, going offensive tackle, the first pick. Um, and then what second pick went on the opposite side, the D lineman as
Lee
well.
Hunter,
Lee Hunter, yeah, yeah.
yeah, from the
Plus,
Vaunted Texas Tech defense. So
that oil
you know,
money. Yeah.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well,
You talk about a guy you adding another guy into that interior defensive line room after losing Ashawn Robinson. I
mhm,
believe this move was directly a response to how Bobby Brown and Turk Warden played this past season.
mhm,
Those two guys didn't necessarily yield the return that we gave out.
right,
Adding Lee Hunter as a young body into that room helps you replace a veteran presence that you had in Ashawn Robinson, of course. Lee Hunter, obviously a big time run stopper, a guy that plays with violent hands, great at disengaging with offensive linemen. A guy that I'm glad that we grabbed. I think changes the type of guys that we have in that room. This gives me the feel of a guy that we would have had in our room during the 2000s, like when we had
mhm,
guys like Brenston Buckner, Chris Jenkins, guys like that, real nasty guys, violent guys. Um, I want that in the room, man. I want that in the room. I think the closer we get to being a fear defense, is the closer we can get to being a elite team on a consistent basis. And I think Lee
mm,
Hunter helps us get one step closer to that.
yeah, yeah, and also remember, like, let's take it back to the 2010s. Remember Starla Tule?
Yeah,
Yeah, effing up in the middle next to Coney Ely, them boys,
Kawan
scary.
Short.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Came on short.
Yeah,
Your dog Mario Addison. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. You know,
Yeah,
shout out to the bros. Um,
yeah.
yeah, man. I think just getting back to that. I say I mean, they obviously have attacked the trenches the past couple of years. Yeah, adding Jalen Phillips was huge. I think seeing what Nick scored in Princely, Umami Yellen bring this year is also gonna be vital. Which is why I think they didn't go edge. They didn't add another edge through the draft. You drafted two last year. You added one in free agency this year. That's what you were gonna add. Pat Jones as well. I think that's another guy that when he did play, he was effective. So I like the idea of our edge room. I'm looking for somebody to step up and be the next guy opposite of
Yeah.
Jalen Phillips.
And look, listen,
That's the goal.
and there's a better edge class next year anyway. So there's
Hopefully,
always hope. There's always hope for real. But
it's right around the corner.
there's always hope. There's always hope.
Always, always. But we keep looking on through Chris Brazel the second.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir.
University of Tennessee,
Yeah.
wide receiver. I know, and I caught heat on this on my on my other channel,
Yeah.
Panthers Nation Network. I thought I was more than fair to Chris Brazel in that video. By the way, y'all, I think I was more than fair. I believe he has big time ability at 6'4", 200 pounds, ran a 4.37. If that's available at the 89th overall pick, then I understand taking that. That's a lot of size and a lot of speed to be sitting there this late in the draft, right? Now, also understand, if a guy is 6'4", 200 pounds, and runs a 4.3 and is available at pick 89, there is a reason for that. There's a reason. Like that, he didn't just slip just because. Somebody feels some type of way about either how he played or the system that he played in. I don't necessarily think that it's about him as a player. We all feel that the Tennessee system, Josh Heupel's system in particular, has not yielded a great return on their wideouts when they go to the pros. We've yet to see an elite prospect come out of that offense. It's the same way that we look at Ohio State wide receivers and say, "Damn, I need to get my hand on one of those."
Or LSU sometime.
Or
But
LSU, like schools have a history with certain guys under certain staffs, and that's not a crazy idea to think that he may just be like the rest. He may be. Now he also has a lot of ability. He has a better bend for a guy that size than most people than what most people would think. So there probably is a level of versatility he will have in his route tree that maybe we don't get out of the other guys. And again, for that size and that athleticism, like at the 89th pick, I'm not mad at that. It's not like we spent a first rounder or a second rounder on him. We got him in the third round.
yeah,
That's where you start to get guys that are hit or miss. Because they're here, they're in the third round for a reason. Once you drop out of the first two rounds, if you're here, something isn't quite right. We don't quite know exactly if you can be the guy, but we do believe you can be a guy. And that's what you draft the guy in the third round to be. You draft him to be a guy in that receiver room that can contribute.
yeah, that can compete. Same way we got Jimmy Horn. I think Jimmy Horn had good college tape, and then also Chris Brazel, he got good college tape as well. It's just, a lot of people, even, some experts even said, with hypo system, it just really don't translate well for, in the league. It's just that bear and shoot offense, it's just a lot of, it's a lot of,
wide splits. You don't play
you know,
with that much space in the NFL.
no, not at all.
So,
It's a different route, a different route tree or anything like that. But who knows? Like, because like I brought to your attention earlier. Like, SC's own Jalen Hyatt. I thought Jalen Hyatt was one of the best wide receivers that came out of Tennessee, for a while. I thought for sure, with the awards he won in college, he gonna be, he gonna pop it up there in New York. And he slipped down. I think he didn't even go in the first round. They had him going all the way, they had him, some people had him in the first round, but I think he fell out, right? I think he fell like to the second round or something like that. Second or third.
Who we talking about right now?
Jalen Hyatt.
Jalen Hyatt, yeah, I think he definitely fell. I think he fell to
He fell.
third.
Yeah,
Second or
he
third
fell
round.
to third, and it didn't translate to the league, for him. So, who knows? But Chris Brazel, it's who knows. I know a lot of people in the fan base, they're ready to get a new wide receiver 3, so, but it's up for the taking. It's up for the taking, and we are fair. We fair on this podcast. If our boy XL ain't clicking, then, hey, he got to get on about the dope. For real. I mean, it's a business.
It's a business at the end of the day. Like I said, I like the potential of what he could bring because he's being brought in to be that deep ball threat that we haven't been able to find consistency out of. Like
Hmm.
the idea of Xavier was to be a deep ball threat. That to this point hasn't materialized. So again,
Well,
they're
I
not
will
wrong
say
for going to
this,
seek that
but can I
option.
ask? But can I ask, in fairness, can the OC or head coach or whoever calling the plays, can they please dial up more deep ball plays at least though? I mean, I'm saying I can't want a Mustang, but I'm working at McDonald's here. That's all I'm saying. I mean, can we draw up some more deep ball plays? That
Hey,
fits the
look,
wide receiver strength. That's all.
hey,
That's all I'm asking. I
you
mean,
know, valid.
that's all
Valid. I
I
mean,
mean,
can I? The targets as well. I mean, like I said, we that all has to happen, that all has to happen within what within the relationship between XL and Bryce Young. Those two have to get that on one accord. If they can get that on one accord, then I believe our offense will be much better. We would have been much better if Xavier could have been could have been more effective in his offense.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
what
and I,
like the more guys that are effective, the better. There is no like you know what I'm saying
yeah,
like
Coker
we
there, T Mac there.
yeah
It's the
like
third. We just gotta,
it's trying to figure out that next guy and
yeah,
even with Coker, hey, as much as we like him, he also hasn't been healthy for a full season.
no,
So it's like it's all it's a lot of everything. Got everybody still has something to prove. I don't need anybody going into this thinking that there is nothing more to prove. Jalen Coker needs to be able to be healthy from week one into the final week of the season and give me 14 games. Give me 14 games, and then I think we're all pretty sold that you're the wide receiver too. Like you've
yeah,
already shown it through your play, even through the limited time that you've had. Give us that in a larger sample size. I think there's no question.
yeah. What
Xavier
hurt?
needs it.
Well,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead. No, no, go ahead.
I mean, Xavier just needs to show more. Xavier needs to show just more awareness on the field. Hey,
Yeah.
know where the
Learn where you
sideline
line it
is,
up
brother.
at. Don't line up on the right side of the ball.
Let's use
Come on,
these.
bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Let's
come
use
on, brother.
these. Um, and
Simple.
and
I told you 2 years ago.
let's be more. Let's just be more consistent. Let's be a consistent option for your quarterback. Let's get to that point first. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And for everyone else, and for Chris Brazel, man, be what you've been. Be the deep ball threat that you've been. Be that
Yeah.
guy that you were at Tennessee. And like you said, like to your point, Brad Idzik, figure out how to make this work. Figure out
Trust
how
and
to get
Bryce
the
on the
best out of
ball.
this offense.
Trust and Bryce throwing the ball. A deep ball, please. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Next pick was Will Lee the third.
Oh, yeah.
Long physical cornerback fits right in. He fits right in with this cornerback room. This is one of those moves where I love it for this year. I also think this was much. It was they're looking at the future as well and saying like, hey, look, that boy Matt Jack probably want to get paid something, a
Yeah.
nice little pretty penny. And the way
Mm,
he played like a CB1.
he
Let's
did.
not.
He
He
did. I
played like
gave
a
him his.
CB1,
That,
and
that was
I
another
love
guy.
his time
Hey,
here.
yeah. While he here.
But brother, hey, you want to go over yonder to get that bread, big dog. I respect, cause it ain't gonna happen here. Definitely ain't gonna happen here. But I think Will Lee is definitely not this year, of course, but like a guy that you like at that pick, a guy that fits within the room and fits within the type of corner that you have, and I think adds more of that into the room. I think also Corey Thornton being back, being back as well. Like like they have a type at that corner position. They want length, they want physicality, and they want and I think that's what they added with Will Lee the third.
Hmm.
So that that being that, next up was Sam Hecht, center from
Center.
Kansas State.
Yeah.
Great pickup.
Vibe.
This is where I think this is probably the most valuable pickup of the draft right here because
Yeah, the
to get this in the
Midwest.
fifth round,
Yeah.
mid,
Hmm.
just like we like. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, one of them boys. Yeah.
yeah. If you know, you know. Um, Kansas State. Here's the thing. I think the knock on him coming out is that he's like they say he was on the lighter side of things. In terms of his size, I think he's about 6'3", It was a weight in about around 294. You probably want to put some more pounds on that frame. He's gonna start off behind Luke Fortner, who I mean, fine. I mean, you drafted this guy in the 5th round, but this is the guy that I believe in I have faith in the future will be our starting center and will
Mm-hmm.
be the guy to anchor this offensive line throughout Bryce Young's tenure here with the Carolina Panthers. Happy with that
Absolutely.
pickup. Can't say I don't have anything bad to say about the pick. Especially in that round.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, you're looking for value where you can get it. That was that's one of those ones that's not sexy to the casual fan, but very necessary.
Please look at the depth chart. Look at the QB depth chart. Look at the QB depth chart. If anybody got anything to say, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Always think about that. Please keep that
Think
in
about
mind. And think about that. And always remember the amount of changes we had to make to that offensive line last year. I think we played, right, if I'm not mistaken, we played the most combinations. We played one of the most combinations of offensive lines last year.
Or I can't tell if it was our boys down in Columbia or in Charlotte. I don't know. I guess we both on the same game plan when it
Yeah,
came to the O-line.
yeah. No, I absolutely. But again, I just think that I think this front office made this was a very responsible draft. We'll talk about that. We'll finish up these rest of these picks and we'll get into that later. But you had Zakee Wheatley out of Penn State.
Yeah,
Um,
I was hoping that'd be the Kilgore. That's what I was hoping the
that
Kilgore
was where
pick.
I was hoping to.
Kilgore was right there. I don't know what the hell he did in the interviews or how he dropped that far. Well, I
Something,
guess open field tackle. That was always been Kilgore problem.
bro.
But coverage rise, I
I just thought he was too. I thought he was. I thought he was so solid as a coverage guy. I thought that
the
would
way
kind of
that
nullify some of that.
like
You're talking about a guy that can play safety, that can also play corner, they can also be your nickel.
yeah. I
Like
mean, look at this tape. Look, but pull up the
yeah,
tape against Luther Burden. Luther Burden had that one it
he had
took
the one play.
it took Connor the best throw of his life that he never gonna make again. I promise you to get
Facts.
that pass complete.
Yeah.
I I was really hoping that'd be the Kilgore pick, but Bills got a good one. Bills got a real
Zakee,
good one.
no, absolutely. As a Zakee Wheatley, man, you're talking about a guy that it flies around the football,
Yep.
physical safety.
Mm-hmm.
More when we talk about it, you kind of think like, well, this is kind of maybe not what Kilgore was. So, but that's what they were looking to add. You're talking about a guy that was able to get his hands on the football, help turn the ball over. That's the kind of guy that you want the back end. Do I have any real expectations for guys that deep into my draft class? Not really. I think special teams. That's
Yeah.
what I think. I think Nick Scott is still the number one safety, our number one deep safety going into the season.
A lot of
Zakee
folks don't like
Wheatley,
that.
a lot of folks don't like it, but Nick Scott was plenty fine. He was plenty good for me. He was plenty good. I know. I get it. I get it. But for what you're paying Nick Scott,
Mm-hmm.
kind of worth the price. Kind of worth the price tag. Look, man. I get it though. I get it though. But also, you're not finding Ed Reed in every round.
You ain't gonna do that. Yeah.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
ain't.
So he's not doing it, and that's not where the money was gonna go this offseason. So I'm not upset with it at all. And then we have our 7th round pick, Jackson Kuwach. Brother, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I have
I don't
not
know.
watched a
I don't know who
lick
that.
of your tape. I've heard good things. Hey, special
Welcome to,
teams.
welcome to the team. Welcome.
Welcome to the team. And but and the reason why I won't knock it, like even me not being well versed on it, even though I probably should have at this point. The reason why I'm not gonna knock it out like he doesn't have a chance is because we've seen guys, UDFAs in particular, have impacts for the Carolina Panthers. Jalen
Correct.
Coker had an impact. Corey Thornton had an impact. You know what I'm saying? Like Bam Martin Scott had to play in games last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for the Carolina, for a team that was just so desperately trying to find young talent anywhere they could find it, being a UDFA or being a late round pick here is not a death wish.
Not.
You are
We're gonna put you on
you
the
got it.
field.
You
You're
got an
gonna get on the field.
opportunity.
Yeah.
You got you gonna get on the field. You absolutely gonna get on the field. When you get on that mother, make it do what it do. Man, make it do what it do. He was very productive in college. Hey, maybe that same production carries over. There are always diamonds in the rough. There are always hidden gems in these draft classes. I'm hopeful that we got our hand on one of them.
One or two. All three.
And one
All four. Yeah.
Yeah, I love for the whole class to hit. You don't mad at me. I
Yeah.
love for all y'all boys to play and kill. Why you want to feel like for sure?
Yep.
UDFA's, brother. I'm not gonna lie. If I was like 13 again and I cared about every single
Yeah.
player that my team signed, I would have more to tell you. I really would. But as a grown man with a job, I just don't. I just don't.
I said we're gonna bury y'all from it.
Yeah, like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Salute to y'all boys. Hope, hey, just like we said about old book, you know what I'm saying about Kawhi. It's an opportunity for
Yeah.
every guy that was signed that did not get drafted, that signed a UDFA contract. This is an opportunity. Make something happen. Make a team regret not picking you. Make the team that grabbed it, that you signed with cherish the day that they brought you into the room.
That's
That's
all we
it.
saying.
That's
That's all we asking.
that's all I'm asking for you. We got anything else, man? We ain't talk Gamecock football or nothing. I ain't necessarily got nothing, but
We
like,
no. Only thing is prayers up to Stephen Garcia, man. Prayers up,
oh,
man.
absolutely,
Colon cancer. Yeah, that's really only Gamecock stuff. I mean, we can once we find some more stuff out. I mean, obviously they ain't do no spring ball because they're building the stadium
yeah,
up, so
yeah,
no spring ball. I'm hearing good things about Norris, Kendall Brown, stuff like that. Simple, small stuff. Nothing too
yeah. But
major.
it's like, and you know me, bro. I've been consistent with it since the season ended. Y'all gotta show me.
Wait and see mode.
I'm in
Yeah,
wait and see mode. I've lost all faith in y'all boys. I just want you to understand. I don't believe in you. I have no faith in you. You know what I'm saying? I have no reason to be excited for the season.
I can't fight it. I can't. I mean, I'm to the point. Like, I'm with you, Tease. Just beat two teams. That's all I'm asking. I want y'all to just beat two teams. Y'all beat them two. I have a smile. I have a smirk on my face. All right.
That's
I have
smart. Merely a
give me a
smirk.
smirk. Really a smirk. Y'all just beat two teams for me. But other than that, the others, I don't know what y'all gonna do. I don't expect much.
You know what?
It's just one of them things. I would say, we will do a prediction. We will do a prediction show. We know we gotta do one every year, Tease.
We
Gotta
got
do
to,
it. We gotta
unfortunately.
unfortunately we gotta do one every year. So um um we'll see.
Hey,
Look, man, y'all don't know about the scenes, bro. If we could just leak the group chat how we talk about these damn boys, bro.
I love y'all though. I don't
We
ever
do.
don't ever think I don't love y'all. Don't like I'm just at my wits end with y'all boys, man.
I'm watching.
I can't, bro. Y'all y'all embarrassed the shit out of me. And I can and I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna tell you what I won't stand for. I won't stand for being embarrassed. I will not.
I can't.
I can deal with a lot of things, but embarrassing me in front of all these people, I can't go for that. I can't. I believe in you. I stood on the table for y'all. Yeah, man,
We went to the A.
boy.
I swear the day
Listen,
in the
I'm
A, I
talking
could.
cash, money, shit to everybody. Y'all should have heard us how we was going on. I got the videos. I ain't
Yeah,
dropping them, but
yeah. We got the paperwork. We got the
I got the
paperwork.
paperwork. It's here.
But
I should have known. We should have known though. We
hey,
really should have known when it took a Corey Swain punt return. We should have known then. We should have known. We were too drunk. That's the problem. It was the alcohol. It was the cut waters.
it was.
It was the
It was. We're gonna call this segment the Gamecock Rat. I think we've been holding on. Guys, he ain't formally, you know what I'm saying, got his bars off about this past season. He just haven't.
It ain't safe for nobody to watch. It ain't.
We can't say the word.
I can't say it. Can't say it. Can't say it.
Oh
It
my
won't.
gosh.
It just. I won't say it because that would be the one time somebody magically hears the podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Billboard, bulletin
Oh
board
my
material.
goodness,
Returning
brother!
bulletin.
We all over the socials. The first clip that ever go viral from Jim Dropper Sports is me shitting on the South Carolina Gamecocks. I can't have it. I won't have that be the case. I will keep all of my hating. I will keep all of my disdain internal, and I'll hold it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I will say, Dawn Staley and her girls putting on for the university. Shout out to Tanaya Lassen, Medina Big Mama Okot, Raven Johnson for making their respective WNBA rosters. Yeah. Hey, how about y'all? Maybe let's not put no smut on my coach's name. For y'all to be, I seen y'all on the Twitter, talking about, oh, Don don't develop guards. Well, all right, well, tell me how 2 guards just got drafted then, bro. You tell me. You tell me. Don don't develop this. Don don't develop that. Brother, we got 13 girls on active rosters right now.
Yeah, and one is definitely going to sharpen up. It's gonna be. I would love to be a fly on the wall for the Indiana's basketball practice. You get to see Raven Johnson, Clayton Clark back at it again in practice for free. What?
That's what they need. That's what they need. Somebody like fire in that girl. Somebody like fire in that girl. You know what I'm saying? But Raven Johnson's gonna be. And it is mind-boggling that people didn't see what she could bring to a team or didn't see what she brought to South Carolina. Because for me, all I knew is that their best player is gonna be strapped, and we got somebody that can run on offense and that can create points off of turnovers. You know what I'm saying? Fam, she clamped up Sarah Strong. Like we gotta keep y'all gotta be serious, bro. She clamped up Sarah Strong.
Yeah.
In the Final Four.
Yeah. How fitting would it be Raven Johnson if they win the championship this year? Year 1. Her boyfriend won year 1 with Seattle. She got the chance to win one. Cause the other team is pretty stacked.
I mean, look, you gotta think they took the Aces to the brink last year in the playoffs without Caitlin. With just shout out Kelsey Mitchell, she a dog. You know what I'm saying? But and also shout out Leah Boston for sure. Cannot forget about her. I like it. It's we ain't gotta say it, but y'all already know. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Where else would you go? Like man, hold on, man. Look, let me tell y'all something, bro. For all the young ladies that are trying to figure out where do I want to spend the next 4 years of my life, who can prepare me for the next stage of my life? I just want y'all to keep in mind.
Go see the governor.
Look at those WNBA contracts. Look who's getting the money.
Yeah.
And I want you to scroll over on that with that bottom scroll. You scroll over to the right, and you look and see where they went to school. And I want you to ask yourself: do you want to be a star? Do you want to retire your folks? Is this what you really want to do? Well, if that's the case, then I don't know who getting more money than us. I don't know who making more millionaires than us. We just made 3. We just made 3. Alicia Gray, Asia Wilson, and Leah Boston sitting there with nice contracts.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to be,
all I'm saying.
If you want to come be an athlete instead of just a regular player, you know what I'm saying? Tired of your coaches, you know what I'm saying? Trying to steal the spotlight.
Videos.
You know what I'm saying? Trying to cause fights, you know what I'm saying? You know, go a little down south. Now they got a little gumbo accent to them all of a sudden. Nah, we don't pretend here. You know, we one of them guys. We develop athletes.
Come on, man.
So come on, ladies, come see the governor. Come see the governor.
Come holler at the governor, bro.
The governor. Man.
Come on, man.
Madam Dawn.
Come on, man. With that being said, this has been Judge Opera Sports. I'm your host, Shanti Stewart. This is my co-host, A. Smith, and we out.
Bruh, for that episode of